we should not quick hire people anymore. And that person is stuck. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Good Company, the full release in free play with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our beautiful, thus far still quite teeny tiny factory. We're standing around sleeping at work, apparently, and we are back after getting ourselves ready to go, set up, and getting ourselves back into the game in the last episode. And what we had already done back then was going ahead to design our very first product right here. Starting out with a calculator again, it seems, as we did in the last playthrough. And we're today coming back to actually get that design finished, get it named, importantly, and, well, get our first production chain set up, hopefully making a first bunch of money, but of course also spending a lot on the setup. And, well, that's pretty much the plan right there for today. Maybe we'll also discover some new bits around the game as we go, but, we'll start like that, and then we see where we go. With that said, though, before we actually get started, if you're new around, if you do happen to enjoy this episode, you want to stay around for more Good Company content, there's like 3 playlists I have at this point out there. Make sure to go ahead and smash that subscribe button right down below. I'd really appreciate that a ton. We're currently on our way to 1,000 subs, and every single person does just help out a lot with that. With that out of the way, though, we are, first things first, going into editing mode on our new design here. In fact, I would like to, well, name the thing, because I think now he's called Beta Raven in YouTube, but Luke, as far as I remember, was his name. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was your old name. Asked me to go ahead and get back on that old calculator name that we were using previously, which is Keith. It's his doggo. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. So, calculator's going to be called Keith. Now, I'm not sure. The last time around, we had some sort of serial numbers, and he didn't give me any this time, so I'm just going to go lay one out myself, and we'll call it the Keith 1000. Alright? I think the next one will be the Keith 2000. Very creative, isn't it? But, got to get that serial number going. Hope you like it, mate. If not, you know, let me know additional suggestions for the future products down below in the comments. But that is going to be the name of our very calculator then. Now that said, I do have to say, I feel like the sound is a little loud. May just be a feeling of mine. I don't know. I hope that works out for you guys. If it's too low volume now, please let me know down below in the comments. We have got this thing pretty much set up. I mean, if we look at expected features, everything's covered. Honestly, I'm a little worried about the LED array. I mean, it does feel like that is... Oh, you guys know what I'm seeing right now? New thing? The pick and place machine. The assembly frequency has been adjusted for. You know how it always used to stay 1 day, and I was like, why in the world would I ever want that? Well, it was only when I built the first one that I recognized that the pick and place machine actually does 10 at a time in 1 day. And now it's actually, I guess, accounting for the amount that it makes, and not just the time. So it's telling you the time for one module, not for like the 10 or whatever batch that it makes. Now the thing is, I do have to say I'm a little bit worried about the amount of LED arrays in this product. At the same time, you know, it does give me a very nice start into the market, and with this whole feature value thing, and us having to hit at the very least 2.5, I'm worried that otherwise, you know, we'll probably very quickly get to have a calculator that's not sellable on the market anymore. So we'll just get started like this, and then, you know, maybe we can redesign it with a better screen quite quickly. Maybe that's our research goal. That said, we do need to set up some research in the first place, and I don't think that's even all that easy. We don't have that much money, so we need to see. But that's the plan right there. In terms of casing, I mean, we could technically go for a wooden case. It's not really like it saves as much of any money, I think. No, wait. Okay, so wood is even more expensive than plastic. I guess the only thing that you do get is some ecological appeal, or a style, in fact. Wasn't there like some ecological factor at some point? Oh yeah, these here, the drawbacks, right? The footprint, but those, I guess, we are not looking too much at just yet. Only thing that people care about is weight, so I'm going to keep it at the plastic, cheaper to manufacture, more space in the design, absolutely beautiful. 2.1 days of assembly time, though. That was a long, long while. How many of these are we making in a day? Oh, we do have to start out with tinker tables. That is a factor. 1 day. And these are 1 day as well. So, okay. Interesting. I guess the question is going to be how many we want to get going of these. I think we're going to go get 2 assembly. Well, let's finish the design. Let's see what the market expectation is going to be of how much we can sell and everything, right? So here is our beautiful Keith 1000. I do think we had already done the design last time around, right? So I hope that was intentional now. Otherwise, you know, there you go. That's it. That's what we're working with. Now, we're not going to want to get the time playing. What we do want to do now would be... Well, first things first, delivery areas everywhere here, which is nice. Got some nice flexibility right there. Do probably want to make sure to keep these ports here open, just in case we need that in the future. I like how it's these, like... It's very well integrated into the design of the building somehow. Somehow it just makes sense. These little metal lines, and I like it. Anyways, I'm getting a little distracted right here. What we are looking at now is going to be the market overview. And in the market overview... I really want to get that going. In the market overview, we are technically, probably, hopefully, able to see how much we're going to be able to sell. Potential sales next week, 70, seems quite high. Which makes me think that this is the potential sales on the overall market, and if and when the competition rises up to sell some calculators as well, we don't get to sell all of these. I think. As you can see currently, I'm the only company here on the list, so I would assume that's the way that it goes. And then, okay, so we need to keep an eye out for that, most definitely, because, I mean, I think it's interesting, you know, the whole competition bit. I'm really looking forward to it. It adds so much of a different level to all of this, because we need to not only make sure that we keep up with the market rating now, but also the competition. It's going to be super, super cool, I think. Also super stressful, but super cool. I like it. And this has definitely been raised by like 10 times as well, but it's cool. So, currently we can sell 70. It's not going to stay that way. Currently we can. Technically speaking, I think we're going to go with 2 assembly tables. That way, well, we make a little less, I think, than 2 a day. But yeah, in the end, it will maybe be like 12 a week or something. It's the starting point, right? We don't want to make it too crazy just yet. Slowly but surely, scaling and going from there. I've got no clue what that was. Any case, doesn't matter. We will get started. Let us go and get a little bit of a basic something set up, get some employees hired, and then we go from there, alright? We'll go and get a courier pallet in right here. In fact, we'll get 2. One for the stuff that we pull in, another one for the stuff that we sell out. I would just always used to do it that way. Just is a little easier for me in the end, to be honest. Then... one of these for the batteries. I think we had a look at the frequency, right? And one of these for the batteries, as far as I remember, would be able to handle 2. 2 assembly tables. So, I would argue... I mean, technically speaking, can we go and... Nah, I don't want to feed it off like that. Okay. We're going to maybe have a little table. We'll just place things. We'll make things make sense when we get there, alright? So, we'll have a table for... Oh my god, that is a lot of things. That's a lot of new stuff. Coils. Oh, in fact, it's just the coils. It does feel like there's a few more things that you can go and manufacture from the get-go, which is interesting. But the coils are the main thing. So, interesting that that's there. But, I'm wondering... Can we make this all from the get-go? Do we not have to research it? We'll see. We'll see. We want to choose a recipe. The recipe that we do want to choose is the battery stack, as far as I remember, right? Let me double check the blueprint before we do anything stupid here. Battery stack. Right. So, 1 day. Exactly. If we plan to get 2 assembly tables going, that means 1 is able to cover 2 easily. And then we've got these LED arrays, for which I guess we'll need 2 tables. And that's already where we'll have a little bit of overproduction coming in, which is not great. But, as we remember, and I hope that is still the same in this version of the game, usually it doesn't make sense to sell modules. You don't make any reasonable amount of profit. So, we'll just be overproducing, not selling off any of the excess. If anything changed on that, though, over the course of the game development, please let me know down below in the comments. We'd love to hear that. Then we'll, of course, go and sell off the excess that we produce. In the past, though, it never made sense. So, 2 tables for these, and 2 assembly tables, and that should pretty much make us good to go. And then we're only going to hire... Oh, no. You know what? We can do something with the excess. When we actually get excess LED arrays, we can go and do some research with those, which is awesome. So, don't even have to worry about it. But, what I was going to say, we're going to go and get this stuff set up. Maybe we just do that right there. Get a small shelf in the middle here. And then we will have a little bit of... It was simple circuits, right? Oh! We need circuit boards for that. That's new, isn't it? That is new. No, what am I doing? LED arrays. I'm sorry. It feels like I just woke up, but I assure you it's 5 PM right now. LED arrays is what we want, and now that all makes a whole lot more sense as well. We do need electronic parts, we don't need circuit boards. That makes sense, I would say. Not hiring any people for this stuff just yet, because I'm going to go and probably throw my mannequin at one of the... Well, in fact, maybe we don't throw our mannequin at one of the assembly stations, and we just use them to research some bits off of the excess stuff that we get. So what we do want then is some assembly tables, and I'm still a bit confused by the naming. Handheld assembly table makes me think it's portable. A little bit, I have to say. Evidently not the case. Now, what I am tempted to do would be something along the lines of this, right? That way my employees can just put things in there themselves. Or maybe like that, even. You know, they can have very quick access to our outbound pallet, and we do need less logistics employees to move around all the stuff, and then we just get this thing going here, right? In fact, we could even just turn it to make the logistics... Okay, so this is going to look a little more weird, but it'll... Oh no, never mind. We cannot turn it. I'm wrong. Don't mind me. I never said anything. So what we're going to be making here, of course, is going to be our Keith 1000. The one thing that I did forget about is the fact that we do need those cases as well. So let's go and get ourselves another tinker table. We could maybe think about slapping that. No, we cannot think about slapping that down right here. We could think about slapping it down right here. And we will. That way... We save ourselves the $500 for another shelf for the time being. Which is probably, if we're being honest about it, right, that is saving on the wrong end of things. Also, we're going to keep AUTOLOGISTICS on for the time being, right? I always used to turn this off because it never ever worked well for me. Moscow sound interesting. It never really worked well for me, but I do know that there's been a lot of effort put into reworking the AUTOLOGISTICS and should be a lot more flexible in the ways you can adjust it right now, right? So we're going to give it a chance. We're going to give Chasing Carrots a chance. I'm sure they did great work on this. We're going to keep this on, especially for a small setup like this. Just see how it acts, see what adjustments we need to make, and as we scale and we get bigger setups, I'm sure eventually it is going to start presenting some level of problem and some sense of the word. But for the time being, we'll keep it going like this, and then we just kind of, you know, we go from there. We see how well it works out. So, plastic cases being made here. We make one a day, so that's easily able to cover 2 assembly tables as well, and then that is pretty much it. Now, I would like to go and have a little bit of a look at this logistics stuff before we hire... Well, no, actually, in fact, let's go and hire people. Because honestly speaking... Oh, no. We should not quick hire people anymore. And that person is stuck. Is he stuck? Like, from the get-go? Oh my god. Okay. So why I'm saying we shouldn't quick hire people anymore is I forgot about the whole changes to the employees. They've got skills and, like, perks and happiness and skill points and... God. They can even unlock inventory slots. What can I do here? Look at that. Assembly speed, crafting speed, research. I can basically overclock, in satisfactory terms, my employee. That is mad. Plus 10 a day. Okay, I mean, that's a little more efficient than just hiring another one, I guess, because that would be plus 11 a day for 50% more capacity. So that's interesting. And the happiness factor and everything, like... mind-blowing. Okay, we will not quick hire people into this, because I will need to look at all the skill set stuff and everything, right? But where do I even hire people? Here? No. Yes? No. Where do I hire people? I am lost. It used to be in here, didn't it? Total employees, no employees selected, but quick hire, assign next idle employee. That's a cool option. You destroy table, employee goes idle, and boop, he just goes right over. Employee overview. Yeah, but isn't there... I mean, if there's a skill set, there must be some... I get a calculator in the game. Oh, that's glorious. Honestly, chasing carrots, I love you guys. That's it's a great feature. I absolutely love that. It would be great if I could close it again like that, though. Otherwise, loving it. The question being, where in the world do I get the overview list of what employees I can hire? Because with them having skill sets, surely it does make sense to look at that, right? I mean, if I quick hire here, as far as I was able to tell, I don't even know. Employee hiring cost 0, salary 0, required skill point 0. That makes no... I'm not sure. What does that even... That's kind of weird. So we need to look at that. Anyway, so we'll do the logistics first, because I suspect that's the thing that I'll get into a little easier, right? So we've got the zone here, and we've got some policies, and I would like to see what those are. Wait, so I can just put a policy on a zone and it doesn't cost me anything? And it just, like, kind of boosts things? Module output, product output, component output? So I could just go like boop, boop, and boop, and then I get 10% on all those? Is that the way that that works? Because, I mean, that's quite cool. I'm not going to say no to 10% extra. I guess in the future there's going to be more policies, and there's going to be like level 2 and level 3 policies, which give you more of a boost and then maybe cost something or something. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. I like it. We don't really have much more available than that currently, so I'll happily take it. I mean, sure, there was like research and signs and yada yada, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. This is the more important bit right now, actually making money. Now, that said, I do have that quick hire button right there again, which I don't really want. Connect work zones. Oh, that's courier routes, right? Okay. Why it's not still called courier routes, but in here it's courier routes, I'm not sure. But it makes sense. It is what it is. Now you've got statistics, which is cool. Employee overviews, which is also cool. But where do I manage stuff now? And okay, so here's automatic connections. Minimap. Useful in this bigger factory. Now we actually know where we're at. Jesus Christ, this thing's big. Last change. Spacefish. So yeah, you can actually see who did what if you're playing a multiplayer, which is useful. Very much needed, and the chaos that's surely going to ensue. We can put markers and text. There we go. Right. Little shameless plug for chasing carrots. I guess we're leaving that right there. Oh my god, that is cool. I love that though. Markers. Oh! There's a plant right there. How do I remove that now? Oh, there we go. Okay. We're leaving that text for the time being. So that's cool. Some new multiplayer features and stuff that we found, but I'm still absolutely unsure as to how I can even... So I guess I can still somewhat manage and see the connections. I'm not sure if I can alter the connections in auto. How does that work? I'm not sure. In any case, what I would do, and I guess the game has not done yet, yeah, so we need to go and import the materials that we want. We need plastic. I'm quite sure we need chemicals, and I'm also quite sure we will need electric parts. There we go, electronic parts. Way I know, and I find this quite cool, there's a summary of the required materials down there. Very useful that, and you know, if you're not sure, have a peek down there. Otherwise, I mean, you could go through the design, see what materials you need, what materials those materials need, because sometimes it's a multi-tier process, you know. But, you know, I would say that that's quite cool. And here are the reserved for logistics slots. Now, I'm going to go order a second stack, just because why not? We do now even have 2 courier pallets, so may as well use the space that we have a little bit more efficiently. And then we'll go and add another rule for selling out our products, which we just filtered out instead of filtering in right there. And there's the Keith 1000. We'll just go max that out. There we go. And that is going to be neat. Lots of space for people to put things on. Now, let us have a little bit of a shift through the entire logistics, because this should have now properly set things up, and it's actually looking quite good. Which isn't any surprise to me, because honestly speaking, the old AUTOLOGISTICS wasn't terrible by any means. You know, it was working well for the small setups, but once it got like a lot to the complex stuff, and you had multiple places in which different things were being manufactured, or you had conveyors integrated, stuff like that, that's where it got a little bit interesting. So we'll see how well it works with that when we get to that. For the time being, I'm not like crazy surprised that is working out like that. I am hoping though that honestly we don't run into a situation at some point where I do find out that it is messy, and then it's already so messy and everything's so complex with all the AUTOLOGISTICS that either we spend 5 episodes reworking everything, or it just is basically impossible to rework. Fingers crossed on that, but you know, we're taking chances here and just hoping that it works well. Now on this small shelf, why can I not increase the bandwidth? It's already first little gripe I have. I would like to... Okay, so in here it works, but it should be working in here too. So that's a bit confusing. If you have a clue why that isn't working in there, please feel free to let me know. We know, though, that we can at least adjust it in here, so we'll make sure to use the entire shelf if we've already got a bigger one, and we'll do the same right here, right? Just to make sure we've got enough product, we've got enough space for the outgoing modules, and, you know, everything's working fine. May as well stack up a little more there from the get-go, because why in the world not? And then we've got these little things right here. Now we do need to make sure that all of this is moving in here well, in fact, you know, this is moving in there, that's coming back from there. Let's double check these first, right? That's coming in, going out, coming in, going out, and coming in, going out. Then same deal right here, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. And then all these are coming in here properly. That is cool. Oh, you know what's also cool? The corner shelf has got more spaces now. I love you. Honestly, chasing carrots, you're awesome. That is honestly like one of my biggest gripes with the quarter shelf is it was always too small. It's great to have in specific situations, you know, due to the extra like little access slot that you have, you can just use it a lot better. But yeah, I mean, 4 spaces is just nothing. Like basically 2 hours into the game, right? So 6 spaces is definitely a lifesaver. I absolutely love that. The thing is, though, this here would be, for example, something where I would love to actually adjust the AUTOLOGISTICS, because this is, of course, pushing it back in, which, you know, in normal setting may make sense, but given that this is right here, I would like to actually move. Yeah, now I can do it, right? Okay. Sorry, guys. I guess for this work zone, at the very least, we're going to stick to manual. And that's like the little bit where, you know, of course, it makes a whole lot of sense what the AUTOLOGISTICS is doing. And if my assembly table was at the other corner of the room, you know, I would be totally happy to do it that way. But in this case, I want this to flow into here. And that's where I wish I could just alter what the AUTOLOGISTICS has already done for me, you know? Because I think AUTOLOGISTICS is a great support in that sense, in terms of setting things up in the first place, making sure everything works. But then, when I find something like this, I would love if I could just say, okay, get rid of the connection, put it there, and then AUTOLOGISTICS just saves that, keeps it in that save state, and moves on with everything else. But of course, I can imagine that's going to like just create a lot of conflict in the game. It's probably going to break things, so totally understand why that is probably not working. That's a bummer. That's a bummer, because everything else, you know, super handy. Everything's been set up for me. It's like a whole lot less work for me setting things up here. But of course, I mean, you know, it is what it is. We're doing it that way. And now, does it now work? Now it works. Okay, so maybe that's just had to do with the AUTOLOGISTICS. That way, you know, we get 2 stacks of everything in here as well. We get to save a little more material, which is never too terrible. And now I'm confused. Modified time. Oh, right, because we've got the 10%. But we've got the 10% on everything, so that should hopefully still be working out just fine for us. Everything's a little faster, so we're not complaining about that whatsoever. So, that said then, this is everything pretty much set up. That's basically being put in by people automatically. They go grab their own stuff. And now, we really will have to find out how this stuff works also. Oh, God. Thank you so much for not being stuck, buddy. I was really scared right there for a second. Very happy that Liam can actually take up his work and is not stuck in the middle of a door. I would say, in the next episode, we get back and we find out how this employee stuff works. Because, Well, I would really like to have a little peek at attributes. If you know how and where and when and what to do, please feel free to let me know down below in the comments. Would absolutely love that. Then we're going to take a peek in the next episode. We'll get all those employees hired. We'll get producing our first calculators. Very much looking forward to that. And we'll also probably set a little bit of a research and analysis table set up for ourselves, just to, you know, use those extra LED arrays to go ahead and generate some sides. Get ahead, get some things researched, and then we go from there. For today, though, I would say we're ending this episode off right here. I hope you all very much enjoyed it. Of course, if you did, please make sure to go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. With all that out of the way, though, as usual, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.